Today's topic is deeply vital for anyone who, like me, processes the world mainly in their head, spiritual attacks. These aren't just bad days or ordinary stress. These are calculated personal assaults. For the overthinker, these attacks aren't big, dramatic, or horror movie style moments. They're quiet, internal lies that are aimed directly at your heart and your calling. They feel like a sudden, uninvited mental and emotional ambush. I experienced this big time last year, right after my wife and I found out that we were going to be having a baby. The initial excitement was enormous, but then, late nights come and it wasn't just anxious worry, it was a sudden paralyzing terror of a crushing condemnation about my future. And I would lie awake swamped by fears about my ability to be a good father and provider. I'd hear these voices of, "You are not ready for this. You're going to fail this child. You won't be able to provide enough security. You will break their trust just like others broke yours. Everything you're trying to build is going to collapse." And my first response, the classic overthinker move here, was to argue back with logic. I defended myself in my head. I have a good job. I'm reading all the books. I'm determined to do this right. But the more that I tried to prove my competence or my righteousness, the heavier the fear got. I realized in that moment that a spiritual attack is a list of lies that is aimed at our peace. And by arguing my credentials, I was engaging in a fight I was already losing. It wasn't about winning a debate here. It was about establishing authority. And I was fighting with my human strength when I desperately needed heavenly authority. Now, the good news is that the Bible, the very book that we often overthink, gives us 3 simple, immediate commands that instantly stop that spiral. The first command forces a complete shift in direction. It's found in James chapter 4, verse 7. "Submit yourselves then to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you." After studying this, I call this the turnaround command because it demands a pivot. My problem that night was I was trying to resist the enemy without first fully submitting to God. I was arguing my case and trying to justify myself based on my performance. Submitting means dropping your self-defense. It means shifting your focus from your perceived failure to His finished work. Imagine carrying a heavy weapon for protection. Submission means dropping the weapon and lifting your hands to the one who already won. For me, this looked like stopping the mental argument and simply saying out loud if I had to, "God, I am yours. You have already won this battle for me." I declared the truth of the cross over the lie of the moment. The moment you declare Jesus already handled this, you have submitted. Only from that posture of total surrender and trust does your resistance, rejecting the lie because you belong to Christ, have power. The promise is solid. He will flee. The enemy will flee. The second command addresses the enemy's favorite tactic, tempting us to quit when the pressure is at its heaviest. It's from Ephesians chapter 6, verse 13 and 14. "Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything to stand, stand firm then." The key here is stand. In my life, the attack always includes the temptation to retreat from my calling. If I get criticism on my podcast or how I'm serving, the attack whispers, "This is too hard. Shut down the ministry. Go back to being quiet and safe. It's not worth the stress. Just check out." You see, the armor of God is mostly defensive, and the command is simply to stand your ground. It's refusing to let the enemy push you off the foundation of who God says you are. Standing means intentionally saying, "I will not compromise the calling God has for me. I will not compromise my identity as His child, regardless of my feelings. I will not believe the lie that I am defeated." For those listening, you don't need to launch a perfect, complex counterattack. You simply need to stand firm on the unshakable rock of your salvation. The battle is fought by holding your ground. The final command is the most practical and immediate for us overthinkers, who tend to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders, even if we don't want to. Cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you. This here is the burden-lifting command. For so many years, I treated my worry and anxiety like a heavy backpack. I thought if I didn't worry about my responsibilities, maybe things would fall apart. The enemy loves to keep you holding that heavy sack of stress, convincing you it's your responsibility and yours alone. The word cast is incredibly strong. It means to hurl or to throw something away from yourself. It's a decisive physical act of faith and trust. When I feel the attack starting, I now physically stop what I'm doing. And that is the precise moment where I can stop carrying the burden and start trusting the one who cares for me. This command is the ultimate act of humility. I am not strong enough for this burden, and I refuse to carry what my powerful and loving Father has already offered to bear. Now, I'm not saying you're never going to have those moments pop up again, and the enemy's not going to try to tear you down again in the future. But these are the top 3 things to fall back on to ensure that the enemy flees and that he does not hold any power over you. If you're feeling ambushed right now, if the lies are loud, the guilt is crushing, or the fear is paralyzing, remember the authority and freedom found in these 3 simple commands. Submit, then resist. Stand firm on your identity, and cast your anxieties on him. You have been given the authority in Christ to stop that spiritual attack instantly. You don't have to debate the devil or to earn your way out. You just have to obey the simple, immediate commands he has given you. This is the freedom of the walk grace unfolding, letting go of the performance pressure and walking in the rest and confidence that Jesus provides. If this message helped you today, please subscribe to the show and leave a review. Your support helps other overthinking Christians find the same freedom. Be sure to join the conversation by following us at thewalk.collective. I'll be back next time, and until then, keep walking in grace.
Saved by grace alone, through faith alone, in Christ alone.